Hi, I'm Britt from Yoga Dog Fitness, and this is my friend Phoebe, my good friend. Today we're doing 15-minute stretch. It's called Jamie's stretch because a client of mine wanted to stretch, so we got him together a 15-minute stretch. So this is for you and everyone. Just remember that exercise or stretching is for everybody, but not every stretch is for everybody. So just remember that. Take consideration of your history and your mysteries and your shoulders and your hips and things like that. Always modify, do what's best for you, and of course consult your doctor if you're just starting an exercise or even a stretching program and you're not sure, especially if you're in rehab or have had some kind of surgeries and things like that. Always good to be up on what's best for you, osteoporosis, do's and don'ts, okay? So 15 minutes, we're gonna start with spine 6 ways. So the spine moves in 6 different directions. We'd like to do that with breathing. So make sure you inhale. Usually when you're expanding in the lungs, opening the chest, inhale, and usually exhales are when you're compressing. Do your best, don't overthink it, just keep breathing and move. You can do this stretch routine standing, sitting, any legs any way you like, or in a chair. So it's modifiable on all those ways. So if I'm laying down on the floor, you can always I'll say that you can be sitting in a chair, or again, I'm sitting on the floor, you could be sitting in a chair or even standing up. All right, let's get to it. So I want to make sure that I stay on the 15 minutes and we get it all finished. All right, take a deep breath wherever you are, standing, sitting in a chair, or sitting on the floor with legs as you like. You're going to inhale, arms up overhead. And again, if that doesn't work for your shoulder, you can always bend or just reach with one arm or just lift up your chest. Inhale, exhale, place your right arm down, left arm overhead. You can bring your fingertips to your head if you like, or extend. You're trying to get length in the ribs, on the side ribs, so push that opposite hip down. Open your chest towards the sky, so try not to lean forward. Take an inhale and exhale. Reach the arm, reach to the sides and push that opposite hip down. Try to keep your shoulders away from your ears, elongating through your neck. And then inhale, arms up overhead. So if you need to keep your arms bent, fine. And exhale, down, other side. Again, push that opposite hip bone down, sit bone down. Reach to the ribs. Open the chest towards the sky. Exhale. Good. Inhale, both arms up overhead. I'm going to bring them to the back. So if you're in a chair, you're standing, you can also bring your hands to your lower back, or if you want to bring them behind you on the floor. Chin to your chest, take a deep breath. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bring your shoulder blades towards one another. If you want to drop your head back, you're welcome to, not mandatory. If you want to lift your hips up, you're welcome to, but not mandatory. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And then inhale, roll back up, maybe chin to the chest first, arms up overhead. Trying to keep the shoulders down, not letting them lift up. And then exhale, forward fold. So if you're in a chair, maybe your hands will be on your legs. If you're standing up, your hands can be on your legs. And breathe. Good. Inhale, lift up. So arms to the sides or overhead. We're going to take one arm to the opposite side. Maybe it's your hip or maybe it's your knee. And then so just some rotation of the spine, rotation of the core. You want to inhale, lift up to the top of the head, and exhale to turn. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, lifting to the top of the head, keeping the chin parallel with the floor, and exhale, rotate back. Inhale, back on up. So again, if you need to keep your arms bent, that's fine, and rotate to the other side. You're going to inhale to lift, tall through the spine, even bracing through pelvic muscles. And exhale to turn. You just want to feel that rotation in the torso. All right, inhale, back up. This time, I'm going to change feet if I'm sitting down and bring your hands down to the side. Nice. We're going to do figure 4 stretch. So we did spine 6 ways. If you want to put me on pause and do that again, right side to side, front and back, and then rotation. I'm going to lay down for this one. You can stay seated in the chair if you like, and lay all the way down, feet on the floor. Take my right foot over my left leg. Now, if you're sitting on a chair, you can always place the foot on a bench in front, right? Inhale, exhale. I'm going to press the lower back down, lengthen to the neck. Inhale, and as I exhale, bring the foot off the floor. Maybe I'll reach through, maybe I won't. I'll reach through, grab some hamstrings, interlace my finger. From here, I'm going to pull the shoulders away from the ears. I'll lengthen through the back. Trying to push the right knee away, maybe sway a little bit. You can always reach through and grab the shin, but make sure your back stays long and your shoulders stay down. So if you just sort of hunch up here and then you're rounded, you're going to lose that stretch in your piriformis and what's called the deep six, right? Easy on the knee on the right. You can always lengthen the opposite leg or keep it straight. Remember, you can do this sitting in a chair. If you're sitting down, you're just going to place one foot on the leg or on the bench in front of you and forward fold. Lengthen through the spine, shoulders away from the ears. You're always trying to lengthen cervical spine because we're always compressed in that area. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to release, both feet down. Left foot onto the right leg or onto that bench if you're sitting. If you're standing, that's a good balance challenge. Right foot comes off, inhale. Maybe grab behind the hamstrings. And you don't have to hold on. Another option is that you could put this foot on the wall, right? But you'd have to kind of scooch down, slide down. Again, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, exhale, maybe a sway. You want a good 3 to 5, if not more, breaths, exhales. When you exhale, everything tries to release. And it's not a competition of stretching. It's not a performance. You know, it's a practice. And that's why you go to where it feels good for you and no further. Exhale, and you're just trying to make a little space. Right. I'm going to release, roll to the side, and roll up. Good. I'm going to sit up. And legs to one side, so I'm going to bring my legs to the left. And this back leg is where, or this top leg, this outside leg, is what I'm focusing on. So right here is called hip flexors. So if I'm sitting in a chair, this will be the side that's in the chair, and this leg will be off the chair. I'm going to bring that leg behind me and push hip flexor forward. So in here, iliad psoas, 3 different muscles, just push. So push it forward, so if you're sitting in the chair, this outside leg drops down, and you bring it behind you, trying to extension, back extension, that means kind of a back bend, and pushing your hips forward. Now if you want, you can squeeze your gluteus maximus, squeeze, and that will help release the muscles in the front. Inhale, exhale, so we're just pushing through this hip flexor, again seated, and if you're standing up, you're just going to bring this leg behind you on the floor and push your hips forward. Try to squeeze your back glute of the same side, and that will help loosen up the hip flexor in the front. Now what stretching needs is time, so we don't want to rush in stretching. Usually they say about 30 seconds, and people usually go 1, 2, 3, 4, done. I like to do breaths, 3 to 5 breaths, really focusing on the exhale. All right, we're going to switch to the other side, so I'm going to come back around if I'm in my chair, and again, knees to the other side. I'm going to bring this top leg behind me, pushing hip flexor forward and squeezing into the glute. You can see Phoebe is very relaxed. So inhale, push forward, squeeze that back glute of the same side you're stretching. So you're stretching in the front of the leg. Again, if you're sitting in the chair, now this side would be on the chair, this leg would be dropped down behind me. I'm kind of leaning back, you get that arch of the front of the body, back extension. This is where the back is extending. And breathe. I'm going to use those inhales and exhales. Yeah, I'm going to check my notes here. Okay. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Sideways on the bench, nicely done. All right, come on back center. Just bring your arms out front, roll your wrists. Good. A lot of carpal tunnel going on. We have these bands, tendon bands that go around the wrists, and we use our hands a lot, right? So roll them the other way. Keep on breathing. Extend the fingers out. Bring them together. Extend, and together. Extend, and together. Extend, and together. Again, you can do this standing, seated, or in a chair. And we're going to stretch the wrists. So if you have a countertop, if you're standing, you can do it on a countertop. It needs to be a little bit below you. So you need to be able to straighten your arms out, shake them out. Hands onto the bench or the floor. I'm just going to turn the camera down just a little bit so you can see. I'm going to turn my fingers outward. So you can be on hands and knees, and then I'm just going to sway left and right. So I'm trying to keep my arms straight. I'm trying to keep the crease of the wrist down, arms straight as possible, and just swaying left and right. And it's harder to do if you're in a chair. Yeah, you would need a bench underneath you. So if you're standing and have something low, or you can come down to the floor and do this. You could also probably do this on a wall. You could do this probably if you're standing, do this on a wall. Yeah. All right, fingers face away from you. If you bring your knees in, it takes the pressure off the hands. If you walk your knees back, that makes it harder. So I'm gonna bring my knees in a little bit. I'm gonna take my right hand and I'm just gonna flip it over. All 5 fingernails travel towards the mat. So if your fingers are up, press them down. And again, the arm is straight and the crease of the wrist is down. If I can get some rotation in the arm, cool. If not, so if your arm is bent, that's fine. We're just working on straightening, shoulders away from the ears, and breathing, and maybe getting some rotation so you can get a stretch through your forearms, and then flip it back over. Oh, you can shake it up, and then switch over on the other side. All 5 fingernails down. You don't have to do the rotation. Again, trying to straighten your arms, shoulders away from the ears. Maybe you want to sway, forward and back. Just trying to loosen up. And then the last one is we're going to flip back over and then start to turn the fingers outward as we started. Now, and then go rotate as much as you can. Maybe you want to rotate one at a time and stay there. If you can do both. If you don't get that far and it's kind of outward again, that's fine. So if you can rotate, maybe, your elbows are bent, but you're just working on lengthening and pull back and forth just a little bit. Again, you don't want to overstretch these. You don't want to hurt anything. We don't want to rip or tear. So you need to be aware of how that feels for you. And sometimes stretching can be challenging because there could be a bit of discomfort, but we don't want pain. And breathe. All right, come back center. And then you can stand up, sit down, or lie down. If you are standing up, you want to bring the foot in front of you. Heel down, toes up, so we can stretch the hamstring. If you have a bench, you can set it up there. And then if you're seated, you could do the same thing. Just extend your leg, maybe put it up on a block, and then lean forward. Let's do one leg out, hamstring stretch. If you have really tight hamstrings, sit up on something, a blanket. Inhale. I'm going to be seated and then exhale down over that leg. So I'm trying to get that leg lengthened, maybe toes towards the nose, but you can point and flex. A lot of people feel this in their lower back. So you may want to stay upright, kind of reaching the face for the foot instead of rounding in so much, staying up tall. Trying to just press through that knee a little bit. Again, if you are hyperextension, it's good. Everybody's different, so you need to, watch what's good for you. You could try to place your foot up on a block if you want. Just investigating those things, what works for you, and where you're feeling this. So if you're not feeling this, you can change it up. You could also do hamstring stretch, like so. All right. I'm going to stay seated on the floor. I like to give modifications to let you know we can do things in different ways. Exhale. All right, let's go to the other side. So you have all those options, standing, seated. Inhale, exhale down the other side. Heel down, toes up. So toes travel towards the face, lengthen the back of the leg, these muscles as you pull your toes in. But it feels good, might feel good to point. You can see when I point, it engages calf muscle, right? So as you do different movements, different muscles engage and loosen. But when you pull your toes back, lengthens the calf muscle, soleus, hamstrings, right? Maybe a nice tall back, inhale and exhale down. Again, you can lay down and bring the leg up. If you're in a chair, you're just going to extend. Maybe your other leg is bent and you could extend forward. And if you're standing, same thing. All right, let's go to ankle rotations. Rotate your ankles. You could do one at a time if you're standing. Lift one foot. We're going to do both. Traveling, might kind of, go around. Toes travel towards one another, maybe change the direction. Maybe it goes in a different direction. We're just trying to get some fluid movement in the ankles. And a really great thing to do is lie on your back and have your feet, your legs up, called up the wall, and you can do ankle rotations or ankle pumps to get some fluid out of the legs, as we're not in that direction a lot of times with the feet up. All right. Right, maybe spread the toes out even if they're in the shoes. Let's do the toes and the hands together, what I call fireworks. Hands and feet, fingers and toes. I'll go this way so you can see the toes. And they don't have to spread out and not touch. I had known people that can put their fingers through their toes and all sorts of stuff. Don't worry about it. Just do your best. It's not such a big deal. Fingers out, toes out. Breathe together. And that's all you're going to do. Fireworks. So if the toes are in the shoes, fine. Take some awareness down there. Oh, we're just extending and contracting, getting movement in the hands and the feet. All right, I hope that was about 15 minutes. I didn't time it. But that was good. We got spine 6 ways. We got some piriformis figure 4 in, that muscle that comes across underneath the glute max that gives everybody a problem. There's other, and we have some hip flexor stretch, and we did wrists, right? And we did fingers and toes and hamstrings. And now we are going to take 10 breaths right here, or you can lie down to even out the nervous system and show yourself that you can breathe for just a moment. So you can lie down or sit up, sit in a chair. As you inhale, your spine grows tall. As you exhale, your shoulders drop. As you inhale, you lengthen through the top of the head and maybe engage the muscles in your pelvis. This is important. There's a lot of muscles in there. We want to keep them up and working. As you exhale, you can relax the corners of your eyes and your mouth. As you inhale, you feel your ribs expand to the side, right? The diaphragm pushes down. As you exhale, maybe pull your belly button in. Engage the muscles in your pelvis. Inhale tall. Exhale out. When you exhale, see if you can pull your ribs towards one another, like you're zipping up a tight pair of jeans, right? Pulling belly button in. Pelvic muscles. So we're stretching and contracting muscles of the, inside, helping the internal organs get a squeeze. Inhale. Chest comes out to the side, lateral breathing. Feel your breath maybe travel into your back body, opening your back ribs sideways. Exhale, and that's where you grow long. Shoulders good. Heavy. Arms are light. Let's do a few more. Inhale through the nose. Feel your back open. Exhale. Breathing's so important. I know we just do it automatically every day, but do we breathe deeply? Enough oxygen in there to move things around. We want to circulate everything. Blood, oxygen, synovial fluid. It's like a house with the windows are always closed. We want to open them up. And again, investigation, how this is working, how that is working, how that feels. One more time, inhale. Feel your back expand. Ribs move to the side. As you exhale, belly button pulls in. Pelvic muscles lift. Shoulders drop. So you want to get some length. Because gravity is squishing us, right? Bringing us forward. We're always like this. So we want to open up. All right, come back to center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Thank you so much for your time, energy, and effort. Yoga Dog Fitness. And you could be just like that, relaxed, right? Have a great day. See you next time. Check out the rest of the videos on Yoga Dog Fitness on the YouTube, and we'll see you there.